Peace and love, beautiful people. I hope this video finds you in a high vibration, and if not, you have found this video for a purpose. I just finished taking a really wonderful hot yoga class, and it was put on my heart to share this message. I'm on the side of the road, the cars are passing by, everything is like, in me is really like, no, wait till you get back to a quiet place and a still place so that things can be perfect, better, ideal from my limited perspective. And Spirit is like, no, I want you to share this message now. And I decided to be obedient, to obey that calling, that inner guidance, that intuitive guidance that is always leading me towards what is best. Not just for myself, but what is best for the collective, what is best for what works towards God's purpose. So the message that I want to share with you is about hesitation. And there's a quote, a saying that I really, really like, and it says, either you trust your spirit without hesitation, or you trust your hesitation without spirit. Let me sip a little water. Okay. So, to hesitate can be defined as to be reluctant to do something, in the sense that I'm using the word. And so reluctant can mean unwilling. And so if we can look at it from a different perspective, that sometimes our hesitation is really an unwillingness. It's a reluctance to make a decision, to take an action, an inspired action. And I feel like when we lean into that hesitation, the longer we rest in that space of hesitating, of reluctance, of unwillingness, of course, the sirens. Give thanks. I hope everyone is safe. May all beings everywhere be free from harm and suffering. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. And a lot of the times we don't realize that how we choose to perceive our pain comes to make us aware. Pain in the body comes to make you aware that there is something going on beneath the surface. Pain it's a signal, it's a guide. Just like all of our feelings, our emotions, they come to make us aware. They are feelings, they are guides, that if we would lean in a little closer and listen a little more intently and intentionally, we would receive a deeper understanding, because we hold this depth of wisdom, in a world where we are so consumed with information that's everywhere and, not verified and really subjective and sometimes biased and prejudiced, because we are people and we are divine beings having a human experience. And sometimes we are very into our human experience that we forget about the divinity that does exist within us. You are not a body with a spirit. You are a spirit with a body. And so whatever arises in the body is guiding you deeper so that you can have a wiser perspective, understanding of your spirit and how it is communicating with you. Because the voice of spirit never yells, okay? The mind, it yells, it throws just all different, well, what ifs and shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and doubts and fears and uncertainty. But spirit, that's your intuition. That is, your intuition is a statement. It's not a question. Your mind is always in a question. So when we have direction, when we are given instruction from spirit, from God, what do we do? Are you questioning the intuitive guidances that arise from within you, and yet resting in the hesitancy of being uncertain? Well, I'm not sure what would happen if I followed that guidance, or what if, or the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and all of those, the hesitancies. That is a reflection of what's going on in the mind. So either we trust our spirit without hesitation, without the logistics of the mind, without the analytics, without the past experiences and preconditioning and things that just kind of influence our perspective. Either we trust that guidance that is all-knowing, that we can't trace to any piece of information, because it's not about information, it's not about knowledge, it's about wisdom. Information can be attained from outside, knowledge can be attained through application, but wisdom comes from a willingness to be present with what is within you. Because what is within me is also what is outside of me. We see things not as they are, we see things as we are. Okay? So how we see something is very reflective of what's going on behind our mind's eye, of what we think we know about ourselves. So to trust is to have faith, to have a strong belief that all things are aligning for your good, and all things are purposeful, even when you don't have an understanding, even when you don't have a level of control that you would like, even when you might not have all the things that you might want in this moment. You have everything that you need. So my message for you and for me today is to grant yourself the space and the grace to slow down and to tune into the messages of your heart, of your spirit, of your intuition, of God. Because this life is not our own. We can't start our heart up and turn it off. We can't make the breath work and turn it off. We can't make the blood pump and turn, these things that are providing us with life every single day are gifts. They're gifts. And it is up to us to be good stewards and stewardesses of these gifts, and to direct them in a way that aligns with what God has intended for our life. Because when we're out of alignment, you know it. You don't feel grounded, you feel confused. Everything else outside of you is so much louder and stronger and more intimidating, and you're not as centered or as calm or as peaceful or as happy. Why? Because we are not aligned. We're not in alignment. We're not in tune. Your intuition is being in tune with you, with God, with your higher self, with the universe, whatever name you want to refer to it as. Because that's another thing as humans, we get so caught up in the words and we forget it's about the intention. How you live your life is less about what you say, and it's more about how you show. And so when Spirit guides you, commands you, inspires you, directs you to move in a certain way, to speak to a certain person or about a certain thing, to take up space, to remove yourself, to separate, whatever the message is, when Spirit speaks, listen. Because if we don't listen, the message is just going, the lesson is just going to continue to repeat itself until it is learned and until the message is received. Spirit doesn't yell, it whispers. It's that calm, still voice. You know what I mean? That's beneath the clutter of the mind and past experiences and just all of the things that we don't realize are not who we truly are. Who we truly are at our core, at our center, is peace, presence, love, awareness, you know, and we just have to create the space within ourselves where that relationship, that communion is established and is a part of our daily routine. So that when Spirit speaks, we trust it. We trust the intuition, even if it doesn't make sense right here and right now. Faith tells me that no matter what is ahead of me on my path, God is already there. And so I trust, I have faith in that which is unseen. Because to have fear is also to believe in that which is unseen, but it's putting more belief in things not working for your favor than to put belief into things working for your favor. That's the difference between faith and fear. Both require putting belief into something that we can ultimately not see, that we ultimately cannot see. So, hesitancy is fear. Reluctancy is fear. Unwillingness is fear. You know, knowing when to take action, knowing when to be still, knowing when to listen and wait. Be patient enough to wait for that guidance. Oof. Talking to myself as well, because, you know, we just like, well, I should just do it right now. But we don't realize sometimes what we need to do right now is less effort, more intention. Less self, more God. So this is the message for the day. I hope that it touches someone's heart. I'm certain that it will. I'm proud of myself for sitting here and talking, even with all of the stuff going on around me. I really got into it, and I'm grateful for allowing myself to be an instrument in the hands of a higher source, a higher power. I truly believe that life is a gift, and it is purposeful and meaningful. I also believe that we have the power to create what it is that we think about. Your mentality becomes your reality. So heaven and hell are concepts that exist only in the human mind. You can be living in hell every single day based on the thoughts that you choose and the experiences that you accept. And you could be living in heaven every day based on the thoughts that you choose and the experiences that you allow and surrender to. So that's the message for today. Either you trust your hesitation without spirit, or you trust your spirit without hesitation. Hesitation, after all, is just like straddling the fence. It's being undecided or undecisive, and the universe doesn't respond to indecisiveness. You got to pick a side, choose, so that you can move forward. Because the longer we rest in that space of being hesitant, the longer we rest in the space of being delayed from that which we say that we want, desire, deserve. When we decide, the entire universe conspires. It moves places and people and things, and it arranges situations to work in our favor. But only when you're moving in faith, not when you're moving in fear. Only when you're trusting in spirit, not when you're trusting your your fear, your hesitancy, or your reluctance. So my hope for you today is that you lean into that space within you where there is an abundance of peace, presence, love, compassion, wisdom, and guidance. And that you allow yourself to surrender to that which is greater than you, me, to be humble enough to receive. Be humble. Allow yourself to surrender to the divine flow of life. Know that things are always working in your favor. All things are aligning just as they should. Know that your current situation is not your final destination. You are destined for greatness. Please allow yourself to move in accordance with what God has for your life, with the purpose and the path that serves your highest potential. If not, what is this life worth living? I love you. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Thank you for allowing me to share this message with you. May we each live and love with peace, presence, and gratitude. And may we align and ascend towards our highest potential and purpose. Give thanks. Peace and love.